Here's why most producers fail. It's your guy Brahma, and in this video, I'm going to tell you why you may be failing as a music producer when it comes to being able to do music full time and replace your 9 to 5 income with your passion, doing your passion full time for a living, not having to worry about a manager looking over your shoulder or being over supervised, micromanaged. Instead, being able to spend your time in the studio with your family, in the house, doing whatever you want to do, going on trips, living life on your own terms, and being able to sustain yourself fully off of your creative endeavors. There's quite a few reasons, but in this video, we're going to talk about 4 of the main reasons. So you want to make sure you watch it to the end. You don't want to miss any gems. I'm going to be sprinkling a lot of game in this, what I've had to learn in the last 16 years of being able to do music full time. Make sure you like and subscribe as well, and leave a comment if you will. All 3 things help push this video in the algorithm so I can help more producers just like you reach their full potential. So you're spreading good karma when you do these 3 things, and this is also going to come back to you, because when you spread good karma returns. You get out what you put in this reality, this universe we live in. Before I get into the 4 main reasons, I want to share part of my story with you. So in 2009, that wasn't the last time I had an actual job, right? That's when I was working for the man still. That was the last time. So it took a while for me to finally get the courage to take that leap. But there was a saying I heard around this time, I'm sure it was, that you have to burn your cells. So when you had, this came from back in the day when you had colonizers or pirates or whatever reaching the shore of a new land. The only way they were for sure going to conquer that land is if they burned their ships. They had no retreat, right? They had nowhere to go. If they burned their sails, they burned their ships right on the shore, so that they knew that it was either going to be get rich or die trying, right? 50-cent mentality. You're going to take over this land or you're going to die trying to do it. As a music producer, you have to have that same mentality. Either I'm going to cross over and do my music full time, or I'm going to go for broke. That means go all the way in. No plan A. I was at a producers conference, iStandard producer conference, and I remember Jay Hatch, RIP, legendary guy right there. He opened up a lot of doors for music producers to be able to get into the mainstream music industry. But I went to the conferences 3 years in a row, and the last year that I went was the last year that I worked at 9 to 5. But I remember him saying that you can't have a plan B. You should only have a plan A. And that is to make it as a music producer, whatever making it means to you. Making it doesn't always just mean, oh, I got major placements, I'm signed to a major label, I'm working under this artist. It doesn't mean that. You could be selling beats online, leasing beats online, and being able to make enough income to replace your 9 to 5. That could be making it for you. Because then you'll be able to spend as much time as you want in the lab and with your family, with your loved ones, being able to provide and protect for your family. It could mean selling your sound packs. It could mean having a YouTube channel and generating enough money from the royalties off of that, from uploading type beats and, whatever making it is to you, you define. And so there's 4 main reasons why producers run into the issue of not being able to cross over all the way and replace their 9 to 5 with doing music full time. So let's get into that. Number 1, you only focus on your beats. So that's what happened to me, right? For a while, I was so used to being in creative mode that I only focused on my beats. Even when I made that transition from a 9 to 5 to doing music full time, my sound design business is what took me over that hump. And I was selling beats and stuff too, but my main focus was my sound design. Trauma Drums, if you guys remember, that was my first company that helped me bridge that gap between the 9 to 5 producer to doing music full time. So, man, and it took a while to really understand, because I had a business partner at the time that handled the marketing aspect, and I was doing marketing too. I just didn't know that I was doing marketing, and I was mainly focused on the creativity. But in business, In the music business, it's just that. It's music and business, creativity and entrepreneurship. So you have to have the mindset of both. You have to be able to switch hats. You have to be able to say, okay, after creative mode, I got to go into business mode to make this work, to give this thing legs. But I was over focused just on beats. And so after I closed that business down, I had to reinvent myself and understand marketing from a whole new perspective, because coming out of that, I didn't feel I knew enough about it. And I knew enough, but my confidence wasn't there because I was over focused on making beats. That's where my confidence was, right? And in my sound design. And then I had to put that down for a while to refocus on the business and learn what I was doing. How to set up sales funnels, how to build a website, and understanding the mechanics of that, understanding how to create an email list, how to build relationships with my followers and my fans, right? That's what it was really about. But I didn't understand that until I had to put the beats down for a little bit and refocus my attention there. That's when I started to really understand what I was doing. And that's when I broke into that next level of my growth as a music producer, entrepreneur. Number two, not investing in your sound, your tools, and your education. So I know many producers like this. They're not investing enough time, energy, and money into these three things. So if you're not buying new sounds or create at least spending the time and energy to create the new sounds, enough to where you're not getting bored of them, enough to where you have a free flowing arsenal of sounds that you can go to anytime, to where you can always pick and pluck out new sounds that'll re-inspire you and reignite your flame when your creative fire has been weighing down. And that happens with family drama, work drama, all these things that we're dealing with as producers. By the time we get to the studio, sometimes our creative flame is low. So the sounds is what bring them to life. The tools, new VST plugins, that can go from synthesizers to compressors to EQs, things that cause our mind to work in a different way than it has already been working, which is going to force you to be creative. Education. Sometimes we get so comfortable what we already know. Oh, I already know a few scales on the keyboard, so I'm not going to learn anymore. No, learn how to play in every key. So that way, when you're tired of this key and your beats are sounding the same, you could go ahead and go to another key that's going to give you another flavor, another vibe. It's going to open up a new channel for you. And then educate yourself. And sometimes we think that, oh, the way I learned how to mix, my homies taught me how to mix, so I'm cool with what I learned from them and I'm doing just enough to get by. No, go educate yourself. Go to YouTube, buy some courses, reconfigure what you already know, because you can always add to it. Once you stop learning, that's when you stop living. So you got to be able to continue to put life into your beats, which means that you got to keep learning and you got to keep experiencing. Every day you're living, you're learning anyway. So you should take that same mentality and mindset into your music growth so that you can expand your potential and expand your expression as a music producer and an entrepreneur. You may even have all the music education you need, but if you're still working at a 9 to 5 and you're not comfortable and you're not running your business, that means that you need to go educate yourself on the business side of music and figure out what making it is to you so that you can put that into play and start living your dream. The time is now. Don't wait 5-10 years. You got to put you got to put it in motion right now. This is the time. If you're watching this video, this is your sign. This is your Batman signal, the bat signal to show you that like your production career is sending you a signal like, hey bro, take it by the horns. Let's start right now. Let's do it now. Number 3, and this is a big one, chasing trends instead of developing your signature sound so that you could be a timeless musician, a timeless music producer. I see this all the time. Producers only making the beats that are hot right now. But you got to understand that that's a fleeting thing. Hot right now is exactly that. It's only hot right now. But next year, will it be hot? The next 5 years, will it be hot? No. Music is always transforming. It's always twisting and turning. It's always taking the next turn. And you have to be able to, yes, implement new modern vibes in your music, but never lose the essence of the timeless element, which is the music that you grew up on, that you love. And it could have been older than what you were when you first came upon it to understand what it was, but that's what influenced you and inspired you to make music. Keep that as your foundation because it came from a timeless place. That's why I always create funk music. No matter what I'm doing, it's always got to be funky. I could do a trap beat and it's still going to be funky. That's because that's in my blood, it's in my veins, it's in my DNA. And I got to pour myself into the music. You have to do that to even really enjoy what you're doing. If you're just chasing trends and you're on to the hottest, latest thing, of course you're not going to make it because you don't even believe in your fingerprint enough to put it and express it into the music. So what are you really doing at that point? Like I said, it's okay to put trendy sounds and elements into your music, but make sure the timelessness of your music is at the foundation because that's the music that lives on forever. That's why you go back and listen to the music you grew up on still, because there was a timeless element to it. If you're just into the trendy stuff, that stuff dies quick. And so will your music career, if that's what your music career is founded on. If you want to have a timeless essence or a timeless music career, put the timeless essence back into your music. Don't chase trends. And then when you chase trends too, you're just putting yourself, you become a needle in a haystack. No one's going to be able to find you because your sound is already compiled into the big ass clump of music that's out there that everybody's hearing all the time. That's the only way it's oversaturated is if you start taking and doing exactly what's already out there and what's already hot. Be you and put that into the music. Put your timeless essence, your fingerprint into the music. Number 4, no community or accountability. Now, this one's big and it's probably slept on. You never really hear about this. But most producers, we're like lone wolves, right? We stay in our own element. We barely come out sometimes. We just want to stay in the lab and do our thing or chill with the family. We're very reclusive beings. So naturally, sometimes we out ourselves from the community, right? We exile ourselves from a community of producers or like-minded producers that could help us resharpen and reinvent our sound. So it's important to have other producers around you, even if it's just a few, even if it's just a handful. Have a community of producers that you can go to and share your work with so that you can get outside ears on what you're doing. Sometimes it takes outside ears and outside eyes on your work to know what's really going on. Someone just said this. It was a Alex Harmozy, right? Online marketer. He said there's a Yiddish saying that even though that your nose is an inch away from your top lip, you still need someone else to tell you that your breath stinks, right? Think about that. So it works the same with your music. Sometimes you're so close to it, you're too close to it to be able to tell how good it is or how bad it is, right? Or what you could do. I remember one time I had a beat playing and I thought it was so dope. And I played it for Battle Cat. This was around a time where we were in the studio and our studio was next door to his, right? We were in the same space. Our room was right here. His was like 2 doors down. So we would go in and playing beats. I played him a beat and we thought it was banging. And then he was like, yeah, make sure that you put, you want to make sure that everything's on time, even if it's late, but you still don't want it to be before. He didn't say it in those exact words, but he basically told me that there was, in the nicest way, that there was something that was off time. And when I listened, I was able to listen from his ears because I was only hearing it from my own. And there was a percussion that was slightly off. It was before the beat. And so I was like, damn, I didn't hear that before. How could I not hear that? Well, I wasn't hearing it because I was only hearing it from my ears, which was so close to it. But one thing I learned is when you play your music for other people, you stop hearing only from your ears and you hear from theirs. That's why that feeling is like that when you're playing music for somebody in the room. You're able to be objective in your own subjective art. So it's important to have a community of producers who are like-minded, who you trust, who you can trust, who aren't trying to compete with you. They're trying to cooperate with you. They're trying to collaborate with you to make you a bigger and better producer. That's what you need. So anyway, that's it for today. I don't want to eat up too much of your time. I just wanted to sprinkle these gems real quick so that you understand how to make it as a music producer and what making it really is, and so that you don't fall in that same trap and start failing. It's okay to fall, but failing is a whole nother level, and you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you're on track and that you have your dreams at the top of mind and that you have a plan and a way to get to them. So avoid these 4 pitfalls that I've listed in this video so that you could make your mark on the game and really transition from a 9-to-5 job working producer who can only make beats in his spare time and is probably too tired by the time he gets off work to a reinvigorated music producer who's excited about what he does and has the time, energy, and the money to put passion and fuel back into what he's doing. He or she, because there's female music producers out there watching this too. And look, y'all got to respect the female music producers, man. If it wasn't for my sister Callie, who was producing before me, I wouldn't have even became a music producer. She was the one that put me on game. So anyway, saying all that to say, make sure you're doing what you need to do if you want to do this full time. All right, so leave your comments. Make sure you go download the Ape Shit Rampage plugin too. It's completely free, and I put the link in the description. Real quick note: look out for the Ape Army, because that's where the community is really going to come into play. I'm building something for music producers to come to and not have to worry about other producers competing with them in a way that's, egotistical, rather fun competition, so that we can help build each other up. Iron sharpens iron. Okay, so I'll be talking more about it in the next video. Make sure you check out this video right here where I answer if you should mix while you're producing. You definitely want to see it. I used to go by this term, mix while you produce or while you're making your beat. And these days I feel a little different about it. Check out this video right here so you can see why.